Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
First and foremost, giving all praise, all honor, and honor to the Holy One of Israel, whose name alone is Yah, by saying hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Once again, Marie Yoel Israel, one of the teachers here at the House of Yehuda, along with Minister Yemuel Israel and Mikhail Israel. And we're delighted each and every Shabbat by the will and mercy of Yah in our attempt to bring our people, the children of Israel, back to the holiness of the mighty Yah. Once again, it's a great blessing, it's a great honor to come before the true children of Israel. It was a great blessing to see Marie Michael. I was shocked. Shocked. I thought the brother gonna be on long bed rest, but he said, no, I gotta do the work of Yah. I said, all right, my brother. It's a great blessing to see him. We're gonna keep him in our prayers with all those who are sick and ill, going through different afflictions. So we gotta praise the mighty Yah each and every day. He allows us to wake up, to walk by the way, to be able to talk about his great laws, his commandments, and just enjoy life. And at this time, we're gonna deal with three things, a few things. We're gonna deal with true identity. The true identity of Lucifer. Who is Lucifer? We're going to deal with the true identity of who is Satan. Who is Satan? And we're going to deal with Israel, the true identity of Israel. We're going to deal with the new covenant. I'm telling sister, I'm going to teach on that for the last month and then get around to it. But we're going to get around to it by the will and mercy of Yah today. But before we do, of course, this is still the season for the reason, or the reason for the season. Dealing with Christmas. I just want to reiterate on how Israel should approach this pagan holiday, because I know many of our people got relatives, and of course, grandma might want to see the children on that day or during that time, some later time during that day. So how do we handle that? What do we do? And what do y'all say about Christmas? Did he speak in relationship about Christmas trees and setting up these things? But before we get into those things, are there any testimonies anyone would like to give? Yes, Maria.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
My testimony is short but sweet. I want to thank the Almighty Yah because he let two of our great teachers here at the House of Yehuda show up here today. You see, and that was it was very refreshing for myself. Very refreshing. I got to be honest. Especially when I saw Michael walk in here, I was sort of expecting you, but I know sometimes you're not gonna make it. But I was literally expecting to see you today. But my eyes water. I see both of y'all coming here. My eyes glazed over. So that's a blessing. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Any other testimonies anyone would like to give? Go right ahead. Sister Dawn.
Praise the mighty Yahweh. I want to thank Yahweh for my husband. Because even though we are two people with maybe strong personalities, if you will, and we have our moments, Yahweh still has He hasn't forsaken us. He has allowed us to, at times, be humble enough to realize and rely on Yahweh to get through those things we need to get through. And I'm grateful for that.
Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Anyone else? Before we get into our lessons for today?
I just want to give glory, honor, and praise to Almighty Yahweh by saying hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All right, all right. Well, and we're going to deal with, before we get into these subject matters, when I dealt with, was Yah just the spirit, or can he be seen? One of my beloved brothers, I guess he didn't believe that Moses actually spoke to Yah face to face. So we're going to go over that again. Did Moses really speak with Yah face to face as the scriptures indicate? Because I know he did. Let's go to the book of Exodus, the 34th chapter. Exodus chapter 34. Or 33 rather, Exodus chapter 33. If anyone in the listening audience have any questions concerning the laws of Yah, just send it in by way of YouTube or Facebook. If you got questions concerning the laws of Yah. Well, let's go to Exodus, the 33rd chapter. We're going to start reading. We're going to start reading in the 9th verse. It says, and it came to pass, as Moses entered into the tabernacle, the cloudly pillar descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle. And Yah talked with Moses. And all the people saw the cloudly pillar stand at the tabernacle door. And all the people rose up and worshiped, every man in his tent door. And Yah spoke unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. And he turned again into the camp, but his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed out of the tabernacle. Now the scripture said that Yah spoke unto Moses face to face, as a man speaking to his friend. Now, do a man speaking to his friend behind a building? Do he speak to his friend face to face over the telephone? The only way you can speak to your friend face to face is looking right in the eye as you talk with him, as you both dialogue, as you both have a conversation. And this is what Yah did with Moses. Not just on one occasion, but on every occasion. And we know this to be true. Know this to be true. If you go to the book of Numbers, the 12th chapter. Numbers, the 12th chapter. Because every word of Yah is pure. It's a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. So we don't want to be found liars. We don't want to say Yah lied to make ourselves right. So let's see what Numbers the 12th chapter says. In verse number 6, he said, hear now my words. Hear now these words, Israel. If there be a prophet or a prophetess amongst us, Yahweh will make himself known unto that prophet or that prophetess in a vision, and will speak unto him or her in a dream. But Moses, he said, but my servant Moses is not so. He's not like Jeremiah, Hosea, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Daniel. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches, and the similitude, meaning you look that up in Hebrew, similitude. meaning the form, the shape. That's what similitude means. The form and shape of an individual. The similitude of Yahweh shall he behold. Not so when you're dealing with the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt. And Yah gave them his laws and his commandments. They heard his voice out of the midst of the fire. They saw no similitude. All they saw was thick darkness and fire. And all they heard was a great voice. They did not see no white dove. They did not see no fish. They did not see no sun, no crescent moon. They saw nothing but darkness. Least they lift up their hands and say, these be the gods that brought us out of Egypt. Had they seen them, so Yah said, no, I'm not going to allow them to see no lion or no rabbit run across the road. Nothing. All they saw was thick darkness, thundering, and lightning. That's all they saw. And you know how it gets when the storm's real bad, and it's thundering real hard, and the lightning. Oh, folks said, get somewhere and sit down, turn that TV off. Sit your butt down somewhere. Because God is talking. That's what the ancestors used to say. Because they knew. They knew something that we didn't know. That was the Most High. Letting Israel know, hey, I'm not to be messed with. I'm not to be messed with. I'll come to your house and strike you dead. Turn that stuff off and be still. So every time cut off, TV get cut off, and I sit my butt down and pray that Yah that he passes over. And the Most High, he said they saw nothing. But Moses, he saw his similitude. Now let's go back to Deuteronomy, the 33rd chapter. No, Exodus, the 33rd chapter. And this is what took place. In verse 13. It said, now therefore, this is what Moses is asking the Creator. I pray thee, if I have found grace in your sight, show me now the way that I may know thee, that I may find grace in thy sight and consider that this nation is thy people. Yes. The children of Israel, the black man and woman in America, you are the Creator's chosen people. If nobody else told you that, you is God's chosen people. You part of his family. You part of the 12 tribes that he scattered to the 4 corners of the earth. And Moses said, my presence, Yah told Moses, my presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. And he said, if that presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? Is it not that thou goest with us? So shall we be separated, I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. See, Israel is a separate people. Yah is a separatist. He's not a racist. He's a separatist. He's holy. And you must be holy because he is holy. And in order to be holy, in order to be sanctified, you must know as an Israelite what is required of you. And what is required of us as the children of Israel to make us holy, to sanctify us, to set us apart. It's called laws. It's called commandments. It's called precepts, ordinances, statutes. And Yah said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken. For thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name. Then this is what Moses asked the Creator. And he said, I beseech thee, I beg you, Yah, show me your face. Did he say that? No. Why? Because he already saw the Creator's face. He asked to see Yah's glory. He asked to see something that the scripture says is going to light up the whole earth in the last days. It won't be the sun, folks. It won't be the light of the moon. Yah's glory. And this is what Moses asked to see. And he said, I will make all my goodness, Moses, pass before thee. I'm going to do something I ain't done with no man. And I will proclaim the name of Yah. I'm going to proclaim my great name, which is above all blessings and praises. And I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious. And I will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. See, people might not show mercy on you. Man might not forgive you for a transgression. But Yah said, I'm full of mercy and compassion. There is none like me. And he said, Moses, why you asked to see this, you will not be able to see my face, because no man can see my face and live while he's in his glory. You got to keep everything in its context. And he said, Yah said, behold, there's a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock, and it shall come to pass while my what passed by? Glory. The subject matter is glory, not his face. He said, glory. And I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and I will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. And I will take away my hand, and thou shalt see my back parts, but my face should not be seen while he's in his glory. You can't see his face, because you will get totally obliterated. And this, by result of Moses just being in Yah's glory, look what happened. Exodus, the 34th chapter, the 29th verse, it says that it came to pass when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tables of testimony in his hand. He came down from the mount. Moses was not that the skin of his face shone, while he talked with the children of Israel. And Aaron and the children of Israel saw Moses. Behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come near him, because he was just glowing. And they weren't used to seeing a jet black man with face. What is this? Scaring them half to death. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him, and Moses talked with them. And afterwards, all the children of Israel came near, and he gave them a commandment, all that Yah had spoken with him in Mount Sinai. Until Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. But when Moses went in before Yah to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. So he had to wear a veil for the rest of his life, because the people was turned a sin of this jet black man face just radiate, just glowing. And as I said, this is what is going to light up the whole earth. And to prove this, go to Isaiah the 60th chapter. Isaiah chapter 60. And we're going to start reading verse number 19. In the scroll of Isaiah, it said, thy sun shall no more be thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But Yah shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy Elohim thy glory. The sun shall no more go down, neither shall the moon withdraw itself. For Yah shall be thy what? Everlasting light. And the days of our mourning shall be ended. So his light, his glory, is what's going to be lighting up the whole earth, folks. This scripture. This is scriptures. This is not my words. I didn't put this in a book. Now, if you still don't want to believe Moses spoke to y'all face to face, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm going to follow what the scriptures say. And the scriptures say he'll be our similitude. And in Hebrew, whether you do it with moderate or paleo, it means shape or form. Now let's deal with that. If there are no comments on that, or any rebuttals on that, we could deal with the true identity. How do you identify Israel? How do you identify Israel? Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Regardless if a man is 17, a woman is 18, or 20, or 30, or 40, regardless if they serve in the religion of Islam or Christianity or Egyptology, regardless if they call themselves an atheist, an agnostic. How do you know, as a black man and woman, first of all, that you Israel? How do you identify Israel? Is Israel just identified by being a people of color? No, but there are many nations of color. Many. Just because you are dark hue don't make you an Israelite at all. So how do you identify Israel? Well, unfortunately, we got to take you to Deuteronomy 28th chapter. And we're going to start reading verse number 15. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou would not hearken unto the voice of Yah that Elohim, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now let's see if these curses have beholden the ancient Sumerians or the ancient Babylonians, or one will say he's a Cushite. One would say he's a Hamite. Let's see who these curses and take hold on. The first thing that it says, first curse it laid out. It said, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Now, of all the nations upon the face of the earth, what nations in particular is cursed in the city and in the field? Regardless if he's up south or lives north, if he's in the inner city or suburban, don't matter. What people in the world is cursed? Surely, isn't it that so-called African American Negro? The ones that don't even know who they are as a people? Aren't they baskets cursed? When you go and look at them baskets today, as you go shopping, and you look at your fellow African American brothers and sisters, and you look over that shopping cart, and what do you see? Either a lot of sugar or a lot of other abominations. Pork bacon, pork chops, some catfish, some lobster, some shrimp. And they get past that, they got Frosted Flakes, all sweet cereals, Captain Crunch, Sugar Crisp, donuts, cupcakes, cookies. And you looking like, good gracious, I wait for them to put something on the, take something out the cart that's healthy to put on the belt. But all I'm seeing is Reese cups and Snickers and pasteurized vitamin D cow's milk. And all this stuff going down the conveyor belt. Where's the fruit at? With the seeds in it? Because a lot of people don't know nothing about the last thing they care about is fruit with seeds in it. They don't care if the grapes don't have seeds in it. That's far from their mind. They don't care if they eat GMOs and hybrids. That's far from their mind. But these are the things that's in the baskets of the black man and woman in America. Either stuff that's full loaded with sugar or salt. Salt. Get the turkey butt. Get the hot sauce for the greens. Got the pork. Man, greens, you don't need no turkey butt and you don't need no hot sauce. Eat it like it is. Natural. The black man and woman, the hot fries. Everything gotta be hot. And what this man do? He know we love it like that. The hot fries, the hot chips, everything is hot now. I mean, like I said, can't even leave the M&Ms alone. The little just yellow and chocolate wasn't good enough. You want to paint them red. You want to dye them blue. You want them purple. Things that cause cancer. The dyes in the food. That's what you're dealing with. And we eat meats that get done shot up with dye. Red dye. Meat that's been on their shelves for at least 2 months. Just shot up with red dye. And underneath that, you scrape the top part of that red meat off, it's black. And this is what they send to the inner city. What's this? Like mold. And what do the black man or woman do? The black woman do? You better shut your mouth. I got that 2-for-1. That 2-for-1 special. Crack open that package and get to cooking. 2-for-1 deal. We don't care if these chickens is full of steroids. And you wonder why the daughters come on their menstrual cycle at 7 and 8 years old. Stuff that's unnatural. Because of the chemicals that's in these foods. This man didn't even want the little insects to enjoy the little vegetables, trying to spray with the pesticides. Don't even want to be kind to the insects and the animals. Keep the little bugs off. Keep the bugs off. No, the bugs is there for a reason. The bees there for a reason to pollinate. Let them work. Let them do what nature's supposed to do. Let the little bugs eat. So daggone greedy. Don't want share nothing with nature. I would love just to have my garden going and just see the little deer come through, just graze and just grazing and go through the little rabbit in the yard, just grazing. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful sight to see. Yes, Sister Donna?
I have a question.
Yes.
While we're on the subject of Yahweh's creation, eating his creation.
Yes.
I once bit into an apple that I got off of a tree. Huh? Oh, I once bit into an apple that I got off of a tree, and there was a worm in it. One of Yahweh's creation, eating his creation. So was that apple unclean? I stopped eating it because I just thought it was gross in general. But
yeah, he was enjoying he was getting a little eat on, a little.
But was it unclean because the worm was in it?
Was it unclean because the worm don't be rash? Mm-hmm. Silk comes from silkworms, so it's not bee rash. Did that make the apple unclean? I had to meditate on that. I won't be rash to say that the apple was unclean. Let me
That's
think
just
about
one
it.
of
Let
the
me think
reasons
about
why
it.
they use
Let me get you
pesticides.
back to it. Cause y'all got a whole dietary law in Leviticus
Mhm.
dealing with creeper things
Right.
and things that are unclean. Unclean when they dead. You touch them when they dead. They're not unclean while they're alive. There's somebody have a heart attack. If they got a roach, they got roaches in their house, and a roach happen to get on them before they come to class. I'm unclean. A roach hit my arm. Can I go to class? Can I go? What? What? A roach crawled on you? Are you talking about you want clean? Get your tail to class. No, you're not unclean. But that's we take it there. Yes, Elder Nash.
Real quickly, talking about food. I was in the meat store, Hubert, and I was in a meat store, Hubert, where they supposedly get all the pork. But anyway, they had pork, and they was waiting on this black lady, and she was getting that pork bacon, and then they just kept piling it on, and I kept looking and looking. It was like, oh, and then one of the other guys got on me. Now he know me. He was like, I'm gonna put the boxing gloves on because I had asked him to put some gloves on. So if you establish something with anybody, it sticks. And he said, oh, then you know that's all the joke. I said, yep, make sure you put them boxing gloves on. And he always put them on when he wait on me because he know I don't want your hands touching my stuff. Say, well, you know, we wash our hands.
No, they
Well,
don't.
for me, that's not good enough.
No, they don't.
So you might be stepping up under your fingernails.
Yeah, that's right. And this, I don't trust this. These people in these places. Stuff gets stuck on their fingernails, hair, and everything else. They wipe their nose, and then next thing you know, they fixing your burger, rushing because the staff is short, and they forgot to sterilize their hands. And some of them, you gotta watch them because they'll be at the cash register and fix your food.
Yeah, money is dirty.
So you gotta watch that too.
Yeah.
But the best thing of best prevention is to cook your own food at home. Make your own at home. Then you eliminate that worry. But like you said, some of them if you got a rapport with certain places that you go to, you can try to establish a rapport with them and let them know you Israel. And this would got to be done, or else I can't eat here. I'm allergic. And I tell them if it's a place that I'm eating at, that I'm allergic. If I can't have no swine next to my food because I'm allergic to this, I'm allergic to that, and I will sue. You know, because that's the only thing they understand is the loss of money. So you gotta kind of hold their feet to the fire, even when you sending out for things that you eating, and you trying to send a company to give you a list of ingredients that's in this certain thing, and you gotta let them know that, hey, I'm allergic to, because some companies they know people that's allergic to peanuts and other things, so they gotta let them know if it contain a certain amount of nuts or whatever in certain products. But I like to get a list from the companies that this don't contain pig, no type of swine product at all in it, to be reassured. And hey, if something happened, then hey, I got this on record. Y'all said this, that, and the other. But even with that, because a lot of companies change from year to year or month to month, so you got to stay up on it. You know, got to stay up on it. But the pig, I challenge anybody to do this. Get some pork during a hot summer. Get a pork chop and set it in a windowsill of your house early in the morning and come back late that afternoon. Close that windowsill up, put the piece of meat in there in a 90-degree, least 90-degree temperature heat. You come back, you'll see maggots and everything else crawling out of that meat. Out of that bacon or that pork chop, you'll see it. Them worms. And the thing is known to have that worm in it. And the doctor, that's one of the first things he'll ask you. You got high blood pressure. You go to the hospital. Do you eat pork? And they'll take you off of that pork because they know it's full of salt. Full of salt. But the most dangerous thing is, y'all said don't eat it. He said don't eat it. And this is what our people is eating. So our basket is cursed. It is definitely cursed in the city and in the field. Then he said, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shall be when thou comest in, and cursed shall be when thou goest out. And Yah shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Yah shall make thee the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land where thou goest to possess it. Yah shall smite thee with a consumption, with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, with the sword, and with the blasted and mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. All these things have taken hold, not of the Hamites or the Cushites or the Ashkenazis. No other nation. These curses ain't taken hold of the Chinaman or the Japanese man or the Korean. These curses have took hold of the black Muslims. These curses have taken hold of the black Christians. And these curses have taken hold of the black Negro, the black man and woman in America. No, it's totally undeniable. And he said in verse number, let's get to verse number 27. Yah will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emeralds, and with the scab, and with the itch, where thou cannot be healed. Now, what do you think he's speaking about right here? With the botch of Egypt, with the emeralds, and with the scab, and with the itch. What is this itch? What is this itch? Wherefore thou canst not be healed. Yah shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. You know you got to be a madman to take your hard-earned money that you don't work hard for and go buy a Christmas tree and set it up in your house and go buy a bunch of ornaments and go buy a bunch of wreaths and a bunch of decorations. The decoration alone is a bankrupt with the tree and a little Santa Claus, because you got to have a little Santa Claus, a little frosted snowman, and all these little things that you got to make sure the tree look real good. It can't be no little artificial tree. We don't move on up like the Jeffersons passed that little artificial tree. Remember that little artificial tree we used to have? That little Charlie Brown tree? And we thought, oh boy, we thought we were doing real good. The more money we start making, we said, oh, we gotta get we could get the big pine tree this year. And we try to buy the biggest green pine tree we could buy, and then drag it in the house, and set it up and be proud of it. Be proud of what do the people do this? What other people would look at what another nation is doing, and then they do the same thing. Monkey see, monkey do. Isn't that madness? Isn't that gotta be blind to put this stuff in your body? To damage it the way it does? In astonishment of heart. Don't you gotta be a madman and blind to take your hard-earned money and give it to a jack-leg preacher every Sunday? A church that's already $1 billion church, you want to make it $1 trillion church. Here you got a man that he was doing janitorial work that found what over $100,000 behind the wall of one of Joel Osteen churches, and he ended up letting them know about it. Then I guess they gave him something like $10,000 or $20,000, but he found $160,000 in a pimp's church, hid behind the wall. Now let me ask y'all. Just say you got a janitorial contract to go in and out to clean up the churches. And as you cleaning up the church, you found that money. What would you do? Will you give that back? Will you give it to the pimp Joel Osteen? What would you do? Or would you keep it? Huh?
It ain't mine to keep.
Don said it ain't hers to keep. Yes. What would you do?
Would it be, well,
Go ahead. Come on. Come on.
I was going, before considering, I was going to say.
Don't let your email persuade you. Now get your own thought. That's right. You're a man of your own thought. Get your own thought. Yes.
So either way, it would be stealing if you take it. But what if you were to take it and give it all away?
It'd be stealing after he done stole from you from over 20 years. And the people in the church for over 20 years.
You imagine like say the poor or something like that.
And every week they stealing in the name of the Lord.
Put it in envelopes.
How are you stealing it? How are you stealing from how? That's just like the white man telling the Native American, if the Native American came and took back this land, you stole from me.
Right.
You stole from me. How dare you steal from me? You understand? And you got these pimps every Sunday stealing from the widow, stealing from Israel that don't know who they are as a people, stealing from a people that's already mad and blind and think and consider what they do. Believing truly, if they do this, this is the highway to heaven. This is how they get closer to the Lord. Giving a pimp their money. And not only giving the pimp 10%, giving him way more than 10%. And you find it, couldn't that be the Most High bringing that to you? Huh?
Technically, it is. It could be a test. It's more than likely a test.
Say more likely a test. Does the scripture say the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous? Huh? They stuff is laid up for us. Y'all, the credit is already preparing for the wealth of the Gentiles to come to us, according to prophecy. Yes, Maria.
For me personally, I would keep it.
Go ahead, say it loud.
Me, I would keep it. I'm not gonna lie, I would keep it and help my family people. That's what I would do. I would keep it.
Then let me tell you. I will keep it and tell Joe Osteen to go to hell.
So Joe Osteen gonna take it and put it in his pocket and make his pocket fatter.
Is this exactly what he's gonna
Put
do?
it in the wall anyway. He know
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah, somebody put it there.
Then put it in envelopes and give it back to the people who need it.
If that pimp ain't gonna do that,
No,
I ain't talking about giving it to him to do it. I'm just
yeah.
take it and do
then
that.
give it to the
And
poor.
give it to
And
the
give it to
people
the
who
poor.
need it.
That's right. Give it to the afflicted, the people who
Right.
need it.
Exactly.
Though I was so elated to see years ago in Detroit, the people were so upset with the minister, and they were ready to hang the minister for stealing, from taking the tithes and doing what he was doing with the tithe money, just raping them. And you dealing with, that's how you know Israel, because Israel is mad and blind. And it takes us as Israelites, not just myself, to expose this stuff. You can't be afraid to speak out against this wickedness and this stuff. And let them know. Yes, Sister Don.
Who me said I would keep it. Me and my family going on vacation.
All right. That's right, to me.
There you go.
Hallelujah.
There you go. Yeah, but I'm a yeah, Will. Hey, there's a reason why he had me find it. Behind that wall, well, put it behind that wall. It's a time and a season for everything under the sun. It was time for that wall to get open and come into the hands that y'all said, well, hey, need to do something with it. Because it sure ain't going back into the hands of that pimp.
No. Stricken in the hand of the wicked.
They said, smite thee with madness and blackness, astonishment of heart. And in verse number 32 says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fill with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. There's no other nation that has undergone the type of slavery. And let me mind the world. Slavery has always been a practice in Africa. But there has never been a type of slavery that ever existed in the human annals of history, where they separated the sons and daughters from the Abba and Ema. And they couldn't do nothing about it. There was no might in their hand at all. But let me tell y'all something. With all this mandate stuff coming, and they trying to force this and force that, they're going to get to a point that they're going to try to force your children to take it along with you. And if you don't abide by the government regulations, we'll take them from you. Because we want to make sure that everybody is inoculated. Everybody. And that means separating again. We will do it. I think they won't do it. And these FEMA camps ain't going nowhere. These detention camps ain't going nowhere. So don't think because they have not been used yet that they won't be in time to come. Because the way it's going, and every time you look up, it's another strain. And now you got to get this booster shot. And now you got to get this booster. So I got to get 2 shots in a booster. Now I got to get another shot because of the new strain. When will it end? Now another strain comes. What they're going to have you is in and out with these shots and shots and shots. And you don't know what they putting in. Don't know what they putting in. But it's going to come to the point where you got to defend for your house. And you better be ready to do it. You ready to die for the laws of Yah and the protection of your family. Because they're going to attempt to do this, to separate our people once again, to separate the children from the This is his agenda. This is his agenda. But no people in the world has undergone this type of slavery. And y'all said in verse 34, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight which thou shalt see. And it'll make you mad. It'll make a wise man mad. Or even oppression makes a wise man mad. So that is the true identity. And Israel could be identified not only by Deuteronomy 28 chapter, but by the whole book. Because we're the people of the book. The book, we verify it and it verifies us. We're the only people that in the world that most of the households is ran by the mother and not the black man, as was prophesied in the book of Isaiah. We're the people of the book that this book says we will set a king over us that's not even our brother. Do you ever think that over in Korea they set up a black president? Somebody don't look like them? Or in China? They're not gonna set over them somebody that don't look like them. Matter of fact, they're not gonna even allow you to come over into their country and set up a business in their community. Not in little Chinatown. No. No. Nigga, they doing it here. Little Chinatown. They ain't going on. No. It ain't happening over little Chinatown, little Italy. No. But the Koreans, the Arabs, they all can get their little nail shops, little hair salons, beauty salons, and they will open them up in the black community, and we will welcome them with open arms. And we fill them up. We fill them up. They said, where all the sisters, where the sister nail shops at? Where all the sister, these little wig stores and all this stuff, where the sisters at? Where's theirs at? But they will get them loans interest free and make money off of us. The little, you go to the inner city, the little pony cake stores, these ain't run by no black men, no women and men. They ran by these foreigners. Foreigners. These little mom and pop stores that was once owned by black man and woman. Now they owned and ran by the Arabs, the Chinese, the Japanese. And so as you go into these little wig stores and little hair shop, they behind the corner, make sure you ain't stealing. When you go, you put it down there. Check down there. Look, check down there. And all they want is the money. The money. The money. So any other comments on that? Any of your questions? Yes, Maria.
I had a thought while you were talking about people giving up their tithes, and even though we here at the House of Yehuda know that the tithes are not that money. And you posed the question and said, because you know that it was being robbed, being stolen from the people, would you give it back? Now, this is not to put anybody on blast, but let me ask you this question here. Regardless of who it is, if they're taking tithes and they know that it is not money, okay? You tell somebody to give you 10% of your earnings all the time, and they're sometimes giving even more than 10%. Isn't that almost like a form of extortion? And just like the pimp, whoever it is doing that is that same pimp, and they're taking tithes. Because we are supposed to be the teachers of the world, right?
Yep.
So if Israel is taking tithes, isn't that the same position as that pimp that's in the church? I just want your thoughts on that, because as you were speaking on that, and I'm thinking that when a person really goes to examine it, when you look at it, you being honest, you just, and I'm talking about when a person's understanding, if they're being honest with themselves when they read this in the scriptures,
Mhm.
then we would have to come to the conclusion that if it ain't good for you to do it, it ain't good for me to do it.
Right.
Because a thief is a thief regardless.
Yeah. And we spoke on tithes many of times. And let Israel know that, let them know the truth. Now what the leaders and teachers do with it, that's on them. The blood is off our hands. And it's up to the people now to discern what they should do, what they should not do. So you can't put everything on the teachers once everything is out now. It's been exposed. So if the people will continue to give them the money, they're gonna take it. They're gonna take it. And I just pray that the leaders do that which is right, because they know it's not money at all. They know it's not money at all. But they continue to ignore that heat, which is gonna come back on one day. One day. But you gotta take responsibility for your own actions as well, as a man and as a woman. You read, they know what the books say. So you can't put everything on the teachers. That's why I always tell Israel, read for yourself. Study. Don't let everything that comes from a podium from a man and you think everything is right, because he could be misleading. He could be deceiving you, calling himself a Moray, calling himself a Ha Kohen. See, Yah said he desired truth in the inward part. He desire a man or woman to speak faith, regardless how many people you lose, how many people you might offend. Teach the truth. And that's one thing my father said, teach the truth. You can't teach on your emotionalism or on your feelings. Just teach Yah's word, and his word will stand on its own. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now let's identify, if we have no other questions, Lucifer. Let's identify how you identify Lucifer. Let's go to Isaiah, the 14th chapter. Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah the 14th chapter. Let me ask, is Lucifer a spirit? Is Lucifer an angel? Who's Lucifer? Is Lucifer Satan? Is Satan and Lucifer the same? Who is Lucifer? Well, let's see. Isaiah the 14th chapter. Because many people believe that Lucifer is an angel. And some believe that Lucifer is Satan. Let's see. In Isaiah the 14th chapter, the 12th verse, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend, I will go up into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, of Elohim. So is this an angel? Who is this? Is this an angel saying he's gonna ascend into heaven and exalt his throne above the stars of the Most High? I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation of the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. So evidently, it's someone or something that want to be like the Most High, had a desire, had an ambition, had a drive to be like the Most High. Now, is it righteous to be like Yah? Think about it now. Is that righteous? To want to be like Yah, to be like the Most High? Is that a righteous thought? Think about it.
No, I think so.
Got to do with one of the comments. Since down over there smiling. Yeah, what you said, Maria? Yeah.
I said, no,
You said so. We said it's not a righteous thought.
there's none like unto Yah. Now we can
Give
follow
that microphone.
his
Let him
commandments.
talk. Go ahead.
We can follow his commandments. But
Okay.
for me to want to be like Yah, that's to have his power. And that sounds like this man who wants to try to elevate themselves. You see, I don't want to be like Yah. I want to follow Yah because Yah, he's my strength. He's my power.
Okay.
I don't think it's right to have equal power or greater power than my creator.
Okay. Yes. You have a don't let he could be wrong now. Don't because that's Maria. Yeah.
Right, yeah. I agree with him in the sense that we shouldn't want to be, we could never be greater than the Most High. It's the Most High. It's the Almighty Elohim. But we were created in his image, and we were told that we were Elohim.
Yes.
We
He
were-
said,
we
"Ye
were-
are
we
gods,
were gods.
but we shall die like men."
That's not saying that we want to be on the same level, because like I said, once again, we can never be on the same level. But
Sounds like a
we are told to be
miracle.
perfect.
But is it wrong to? Is this wrong? It said, "I will be like the Most High."
And we're
Is that a
made
wrong
in his
thought?
likeness.
Huh?
We're made in his likeness.
We made in his image and his likeness. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to be like the Most High.
I don't believe so. Trying to exceed, that's impossible. Trying to be on the same level, that's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta stay in our lane.
Okay. Sister Son, you want to comment?
Well, hallelujah. I read in the book of Yasher that it was this group of people who decided that they was gonna build a tower to go up to the heavens, and they was gonna make war with the Most High. And the Most High confused and confounded that entire situation. Some of them people was acting like apes. Some of them people who thought that they was gonna shoot arrows in the sky to kill the Most High, them arrows came down and killed them. Them people was building stuff up, they was falling down, dying. I will emulate the qualities that Yahweh said we should have, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I want to be the Most High, because that's not where I'm supposed to be. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Any other thoughts?
That sounds like a miracle.
Yes, Elder Nessie.
Well, I mean, it's kind of controversial because I'm looking at my husband, and I know my son said, I want to be like my dad.
Mhm.
It's not saying that he want to be him, he want to be like him,
Mhm.
meaning he want to be able to do karate or he want to be a strong man, but it's not saying that he want to be him. To be like somebody, to me, is not saying you want to be them, you wanna like follow in their footsteps. But you don't wanna like, so it's kind of controversial when they say I wanna be like the Most High, because I could say I wanna be like my mother. My mother was, how, or either I wanna be like whatever. So it's kind of controversial, so I'm not real sure.
She's
Okay.
persuaded your mind all the way over, right? Go ahead.
I want to point out again that this says, I will exalt my throne above the stars of Elohim. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Well,
Now,
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
this right here, does he just want to be like the Most High, or does he want to be above the Most High?
Sin means to go up.
And that's why I stopped right there, because when you read it in the totality of his perspective, this is a wicked mind state in the totality of his perspective. And why? And why is it? Let me show you. In verse 13, he said, "For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Elohim." In other words, I'm going to go beyond what Yah did. I'm going to go higher than what Yah did. And you can't go any higher than the Most High. No one. And he said, I will exalt my throne above the stars of Elohim. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, the sides to the north. I will ascend above. See, he's exalting himself over Yah. Authority over Yah. What Yah basically is talking about, Yah's creation. What Yah did, I'm gonna go up beyond that. I'm gonna show you. And this is what this man tries to do. Even with cloning. He said, I know Yah's the creator of life, but I'm gonna show him, and I'm gonna show everybody else that I could create life too. I'm just as great as him. Then you're just as great as him. Why? You're always trying to search and hunt for ways not to die. You did. See, everybody gonna taste that chill. You're gonna taste that dust. You're gonna go the way of all flesh. You see, Yah allows the wicked to only go so far. You understand? This man had been trying to go beyond what Yah's creation for the longest. That's why they made Star Trek, to seek out new civilization, to boldly go for. Then they got you all caught up in it. Captain Kirk on the spaceship, going to new civilization, running into creatures and this, that, and the other. Boldly go where no man has gone before. They're always trying to go beyond, instead of staying in a little abode, being content with earth, what Yah gave them, being happy. They want to go beyond the stars. And he said, and right here, and look what the response. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Y'all you ain't doing nothing. The only place you going is Sheol. But Joker, Lucifer, that they may see thee, shall none look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms with his bombs, atomic bombs? shaking kingdom, dropping bombs on, talking about Hiroshima, dropping bombs on Japan. Then they want to talk about Pearl Harbor and all this type of stuff. Look what you done did to the other people that you done came in contact with. Everybody that you done came in contact with, you try to destroy and dominate. And the money y'all said, is this the man, not the angel, that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? And the thing about thing today is, ain't nobody scared of the United States. See, they was once the bullies on the block. Bully the little third world countries and the little ones. Ain't no more. China said, no, not this way. North Korea said, no, not this way. And Russia definitely said, not this way. You better stay out of our business dealing with Ukraine. You don't want to deal with us. Ain't nobody scared of y'all. We got nukes just like you got nukes. But when a bully got the only thing, the weapon, see, he can kind of control things. Because don't nobody got what he got. But now when everybody got one, they say, hey. They're like a man with a gun. He goes out. He got his concealed carry. He goes out, but he don't know who got one on today. Because normally everybody got one. And the people and a lot more people that's carrying it don't got concealed carries. They just carry it illegally. So, you don't know who you're dealing with in a circle of 5, a circle of 10. And you pull your little gun out, you pull your little 9mm out. What's that? Let me show you what I got. One man pulled out a Glock, another man opened up his coat, pulled out his shotgun, another man opened up his coat. He got his 357, another man opened up his coat, he got this, he got that. Nobody's scared of you. You ain't nobody. We'll blow your head off just like you blow our head off. See, any of these other countries ain't scared of the United States. And right here, he said that made the world as a wilderness, that destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. I see making money off of Israel. Prison industry is loaded with young black males. And it's a billion-dollar industry, money-making industry. And they keep them prison houses full. He said, all the kings of the nations, even all of them lie in glory, every one of his own house. But thou art cast out of that grave like an abominable branch, and as a raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword. They go down to the stones of the pit, and as a carpet trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land. He destroyed his own land. Who destroyed the water system? Polluted, that's totally polluted that. Up in Detroit, it was so bad. The water system polluted so bad. People dying, can't even drink the water. And you better make sure you get a water filter today. Don't be messing with that tap water. You're drinking all type of stuff. And what I'm talking about, you drinking that? Piss. My yesterday's piss. PCs all in. You think they cleaning that water right properly? Huh? Throw a couple of bottles of bleach in it, with this in it and that in it. And this is what we drink. Don't boil the water at all. And then a lot of these places, they'll tell you, boil your water. Boil your water. And some of us drinking tap water. And while we coming down with illnesses, sicknesses, don't know what we drinking. And that's why y'all say this man destroyed his land, slain his own people, at the end justifies back to the mean. He don't care about spraying some chemtrails in the air and the stuff come down on us or his own people. Long to take some of us out. And it wasn't for the graces of the Most High, we all be dead. We all living under Yah's mercy. Do we not understand that, Israel? While we fight and argue amongst ourselves, this man moves every day to see how he can destroy Israel. They unite. And not only do the nations unite, they will come together to destroy Israel. And Israel ain't even unified. Israel ain't even together. Ain't got their stuff. I said, verse 21, prepare slaughter for his children. Let you know Lucifer has children. He built cities. He polluted the land. This is Lucifer. For the iniquity of the fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land nor field. So this is not no angel. This is a man. And you work for him. He's in your school system. He's in your restaurants. He's all around you. He has children. That's Lucifer. So that's the true identity of Lucifer. Now, what about Satan? Who is Satan? And how you identify Satan? Go to the book of Job. Who is Satan?
Best servants.
You said Satan is one of y'all's best servants?
Yeah, it's gonna be for
Are you sure?
we're the ones who ain't compliant.
Are you sure?
What you talking about? Satan?
You said Satan is a good servant of y'all?
Yeah, he don't never do nothing God don't tell him to do or give permission to do.
But is he a good servant of y'all?
I won't say this. Let me take this and put it in a proper perspective. He is one who does what he's supposed to do.
He does what y'all allows him to do. Okay, but who thinks Satan is a good servant? Who think he's a good servant? He doing what he's supposed to be doing.
That's what a servant does.
But don't y'all say he made all things for himself, even the wicked for the day of destruction?
Yes, he did.
So don't some people that's born created, that's wicked, will you call them good servants?
They're born for their purpose. They're here only for their purpose.
Only for their purpose?
Only for their purpose.
But you wouldn't call them good servants, don't you?
No, you say go to Job where?
Job 1.
Job 1?
Yeah, go to Job chapter 1.
Yeah,
Verse 6, it said, now there was a day when the sons of God, the sons of Elohim, came to present themselves before Yah, and Satan came also amongst them. And Yah said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered, Yah, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking down in it. And Yah said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? That there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that fears Elohim and escheweth evil. And Satan answered Yah and said, does Job fear Elohim for naught? Hast thou not made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he have on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hand, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thy hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And Yah said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in no power. Only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yah. So Satan, we know, comes from the Hebrew word, the adversary, comes from the Hebrew word satar, which means the adversary. He's the resistor. Is he a spirit? Is he just a spirit? Is he a man? One thing we know for sure, and he is anointed one. He is an anointed one. He's anointed to do the job that he's doing. To resist you, to tempt you, to manifest himself to you. But you got to recognize when he does. Go to the book of Genesis. Mother Eve did not recognize this. Go to the book of Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Genesis, Satan is not a respecter of persons at all. He worked through whoever he won't work. You go to Genesis, the 3rd chapter. It said, now the serpent was more subtle. Who was the serpent? Was the serpent Cain's father? Many Israelites for years believed that the serpent was the father of Cain. Until we had to let them know, absolutely not. Where you get that from? Where you get that from? So you mean to tell me that the serpent, who y'all call a beast, was the father of Cain? Absolutely not. The scriptures don't even come close to even saying that. The scriptures clearly let us know that Adam and Eve was the Abba and Ema of Cain and Abel and Seth. The serpent was a beast that stood upright. And the serpent was more subtle, but he was more sagacious, more cunning than any beast of the field which Yah had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hey, check this out. Have God said ye should not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Now, who told Eve that? Yeah. He told Adam. And Adam let Eve know. So they both knew not to touch the tree, not to eat of the tree. So they knew this. But what happened? The verse 4 said, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Now you dealing with how Satan has manifested himself to the serpent. He found an instrument to use. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For Elohim doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods. You want to be like a god, don't you? Knowing good and evil, don't you? And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eye, a tree to be desired, to make one wise. You want to be wise? Like the gods? She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. So the serpent, he told us the truth mixed with lies. He deceived her. He tricked her, but did he really deceive her or trick her? No. No. Although Eve said the serpent beguiled me, she already had a direct order from Yah. Yah said, don't eat it. Don't eat the pig, Mrs. Negro. The money Yah said, don't touch it. Least ye die. The money Yah said, I'm going to kill every person that eat pig in the last days. This is what I'm getting. Everybody that eat pig. Money, I said the last day he's gonna come back and kill everybody that eats it. But Eve said in verse number, let's see how she responded. She tried to get out of it. It said, and he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree wherefore I commanded thee thou should not eat? And the man said, the woman that thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree. And I did eat. Look at that lame excuse. Lame excuse from a man. You want to blame the wife. That woman you gave me. That's how it sounded. Like a lot of brothers would have did today. See, that woman you gave me. She messed my mind all up after she threw it on me. And I lost my mind. Some men lose their mind when it comes to women. You had some of the greatest minds in the scriptures, minds taught by a woman. Who, the wisest man, say it again?
Solomon.
Solomon, the wisest man, according to scriptures. Who tore his mind up? All those fine women, all those dark chocolate. He's saying on dark chocolate Cushite, the Queen of Sheba came to him. He said, oh my, what is this? And then he looked at the Egyptian women like, well, they wasn't bad now. Don't think that at all. And then he looked at the other black nations women like, oh my goodness. Solomon lost his mind. He saw them bang, 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 boom over here. And Solomon said, he said, man, he said, the eyes of a man is never satisfied. He was always looking. He was a man with this eye just wrong. Just wrong. Can control himself, can control his spirit. You don't want to be like that. You don't want to be a man that can't control your spirit with everything that walk by. Because everything that look good ain't good.
Would you repeat that, please?
Everything that look good ain't good for you, brothers. Let me tell y'all about that. Beauty is vain and favor is deceit. Never forget that. Don't let them looks take you down to the pits of hell. Don't let them looks drive you crazy. You can't sleep. You timing her when she get off of work. You should have been home by now. Where you been? You got men like that? Because she done tore his mind up. She threw it on him. He never had it on him like that before until she did it to him. Got him. Got him. And he didn't know what to do with himself. And she built him up, made him think like he's her everything. Didn't know that. And didn't know that many strong men already felt by her. She done took down strong men. So you wasn't nothing to her. You just another number, another statistic. Like brother try to brag about this, how many they done got it. Another statistic. Well, women keep notes too. They keep stats too. Yeah, I got this food too. Yeah, he paid my bills on this side of town, but he didn't know my man on that other side of town. He do this for me. My man see women this pussy may get caught. Get caught with stuff in the cell phone and this to get sloppy and this. Women to do their thing and come back, baby, what you want for dinner, baby? Let me rub your shoulder, baby. Get him all into it. Now realizing she done did her thing before she came home. They told you another laid back story. Gotcha. That's why you don't give no woman your heart. And no woman you don't give no man your heart. You give Yahweh your heart. All your heart. You give Yah all your soul and all your might. You don't give no man, no woman, all that. That's the quick way how to be destroyed.
Miriam always says that.
Quick way to how to be destroyed. Because you gave them your heart. You fool! You fool! Well, Solomon was taken. But these were wise men, great men. Who else was taken? David. David was a warrior, a valiant man of Yah. But when he seen this woman on that roof, oh, he couldn't think about nothing else. David just was he couldn't take his eyes from her. Just watching her bathe. Now this is a married woman on the rooftop, and David just, would you look at that? Would you just look at that? Joab, who is this? Get her for me. Got all the wives he could handle. But that wasn't enough. You gotta have this other man's wife. And look what happened with David. Look what happened with David. So you gotta know how to identify Satan. Then we go to the book of, let's go to 1 Kings, the 13th chapter. Ain't nobody closer to be closer to the man than his wife. You gotta watch. Wife gotta watch the husband. Now look at this. 1 Kings, the 13th chapter. It said, behold, there came a man of Elohim out of Yehuda by the word of Yah unto Bethel. And Jeroboam stood by the altar to burn incense. And he cried against the altar in the word of Yah and said, O altar, altar, thus saith Yah, behold, a child shall be born unto the house of David, Josiah by name. And upon thee shall he offer the priests of the high places that burn incense upon thee. And men's bones shall be burnt upon thee. And he gave a sign the same day, saying, this is the sign which Yah has spoken. Behold, the altar shall be rent, and the ashes that are upon it shall be poured out. And it came to pass, when King Jeroboam heard the saying of the man of Elohim, which he had cried against the altar in Bethel, that he put forth his hand from the altar, saying, lay hold on him. And his hand which he put forth against him dried up, so that he could not pull it in again to him. The altar was rent, the ashes poured out from the altar according to the sign which the man of Elohim had given by the word of Yah. And the king answered and said unto the man of Elohim, entreat now the face of Yah, Dapar, and pray for me, that my hand may be restored me again. And the man of Elohim besought Yah. So our people always look for people to pray for, men and women of Elohim. They always, because the prayers of the righteous availeth much. And there's power in prayer. Power in prayer. Never forget that. There's power in prayer. And Elohim besought Yah. Besought Yah, and the king's hand was restored. And it became as it was before. And the king said unto the man of Elohim, verse 7, come home with me and refresh thyself, and I will give thee a reward. And the man of Elohim said unto the king, if thou wilt give me half thine house, I will not go in with thee, neither will I eat bread nor drink water in this place. For so it was charged me by the word of Yah, saying, eat no bread, nor drink water, nor turn again by the same way that thou camest. So he went another way, and returned not by the way that he came to Bethel. Now there dwelt that old prophet in Bethel. And his sons came and told him all the works that the man of Elohim had done that day in Bethel, the words which he had spoken unto the king. Them told also to their father. And their father said unto them, what way went he? For his sons had seen what way the man of Elohim went, which came from Yehuda. And he said unto his son, saddle me the ass. So they saddled him the ass, and he rode thereof. And he went after the man of Elohim, and found him sitting under an oak. And he said unto him, art thou the man of Yah that camest from Yehuda? And he said, I'm that man. Then he said unto him, come home with me and eat bread. And he said, I may not return with thee, nor go in with thee, neither will I eat bread nor drink water in this place. For it was said to me by the word of Yah, thou shalt eat no bread. So he told him the same thing he told the king, nor drink water there, nor turn again by the way where thou camest. He said unto him, I am a prophet also, as you are. And an angel spoke unto me by the word of Yah, saying, bring him back with thee into thy house, that he may eat bread and water and drink water. But he lied unto him. Now, if an old prophet, you knew there was a prophet, it was an old prophet, and he told you this, what would you have done? What would you have done? This old prophet said, an angel told me by the word of Yah to bring you back home with me. And this was a prophet. All Israel knew this was a prophet. What would you have done? And you was a young prophet.
You already got a commandment though.
You already had a commandment.
You don't stop eating, don't do nothing. You already knew.
Yeah, but the old prophet said, an angel told him by the word of Yah to bring him back.
Yeah, but Yah gave him he already had direct information. That's a no-brainer for me.
So what would you do?
You don't go.
You don't go.
No.
What would you do?
Can't necessarily say what I would do in a situation. I pray to Yah that I do what's right in the sight.
That was my spirit.
And you knew this was a prophet. So here's a prophet, an established prophet in Israel that everybody knows. Let's say this was the prophet Ezekiel. And the prophet Ezekiel tells you that an angel told him by the word of Yah to bring you back home with him. And everybody know who Ezekiel.
And Yah spoke to me directly.
And everybody know who the prophet Ezekiel was.
So you saying Yah spoke to me directly?
Yeah, Yah told you. And the prophet Ezekiel is coming back and telling you that the mighty Yah told him by the angel, or the angel told by the word of Yah to bring you back.
Yah willing, I'll put Yah before any and everything.
So you'll put Yah before the prophet Ezekiel.
Yes. Yah willing.
So Yah willing. Yah willing. Now today, you might have prophets today. And why did I bring this up? And prophetess today. Because just because a man is a prophet today or yesterday don't mean that he won't lie to you. That's the moral of this story. Don't think that Satan can't work through a prophet of Yah to tempt you to go against the word of Yah. But when you blinded by him being a prophet, your vision could be blurred by what Yah told you. But you're like, man, this is Ezekiel. That's Ezekiel. And why would prophet Ezekiel lie to me? He got a reputable reputation. He never lied before. So that's what I learned from this. Is Satan can work through your wife. don't think he can't work through a prophet or anyone else around you to tempt you to do something to go against the laws of Yah. And by the young prophet listening to this prophet, he said, but he lied unto him. It says, so he went back with him and did eat bread in the house and drank water. One thing that the young prophet didn't realize, Yah said, I changed not. I don't change. I'm not going to say one thing and then tell you something different. At all. And it came to pass, they sat at the table, that the word of Yah came unto the prophet that brought him back, and he cried unto the man of Elohim from Yehuda, saying, thus saith Yah, for much as thou hast disobeyed the mouth of Yah, and hast not kept the commandment of which Yah that Elohim commanded thee, but camest back and hast eaten bread and drunk water in this place, on which Yah did say to thee, eat no bread and drink no water, thy carcass should not come up to the sepulchre of thy fathers. And it came to pass, after he had eaten the bread, and go ahead and do all you eating and drinking now, because now I'm going to have a lion slay your tail. That's your reward for being disobedient. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. You don't put no prophet over the word of Yah. You don't put no angel word over the word of Yah. But you got people today listening to me teach today. They will put the word of their friend over the word of the Most High. And they ain't even no prophet. They ain't no prophetess. We will show them what Yah said David is the Messiah. And you know what these fools will say? That's not true. David ain't the Messiah. Christ is the Messiah. Yahushua is the Messiah. Or it's the seed of David. And Yah out of his mouth, let me show you what Yah said out of his mouth. Go to the book of Ezekiel. Go to Ezekiel. Yah's not a man that he should lie. Not a son of man that he should repent. So when Yah says something, you gotta know what he mean, what he say, and he says what he mean. Ezekiel the 34th chapter. Hear the mighty Yah said, Ezekiel 34th chapter, the 22nd verse. That therefore will I say my flock, and they shall no more be a prey. And I will judge between cattle and cattle. And I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, even my servant David. He shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd. And I, Yah, will be their Pa, and my servant David, a prince amongst them. And this is Yah talking. Then you will have the audacity for a fool to say that the Most High lied. He don't know what he's talking about. And your elders lying for teaching this. What Yah said. Because why? Because Satan has manifested himself to them. Now that which they read, what Yah said, they don't even trust in that. Because Satan has manifested himself to them and took hold of their spirit. Yah said David out of the mouth of 5 different prophets. You can't get Christ out of the mouth of no prophet in the Old Testament. And they can't send it by way of YouTube. No, none of them can. They can't establish any of David's sons sitting on the throne by name. We establish it by name. So we don't have the people guessing who's the prophet, the Messiah in the last days that's going to rule over Israel. Yah said David. So to let all Israel know, it won't be your Kohen, it won't be your Moreh, it won't be this man, it won't be that man. It will be David. David, And then he said in Ezekiel the 37th chapter, witnesses. They can't bring forth no witnesses. All they can bring forth is mouth, talk, big lip. Lie so much their lips swole up. Fat lip. Ezekiel 37. Last day prophecy. I ain't gonna read this, but just this part right here. It says in verse number 23, neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have broke my law. They sinned. How can you break the law of Yah if you can't keep, how can you sin outside of the Holy Land if you don't have to keep the laws? That's why none of these brothers will come on while I'm teaching. I'll be gone, buried in the grave before they come forward with any courage, any balls at all, any gumption. They don't have none. So they hide behind Facebook, hide behind the internet like cowards. And right here, the mighty Yah said, I will cleanse Israel. I'm going to be the one that cleanse you, not these jack-legged preachers. Dumping you under some filthy church water. So should they be my people that will be their Elohim. And that's what they do. Dump them right under the water that's filled with urine. Just dunk them, take them by the neck. Just dunk them under there. Dunk them under there. And after you, dunk them. You got the Holy Ghost yet? Not yet. Wait till we get it. Wait till we get the Holy Ghost start speaking in tongues. Ain't nowhere in scriptures. And right here he's saying, David, my servant, shall be king over them. And they all shall have one shepherd. All throughout the book. David being king, David being prince forever. Verse 25. The latter part, he said, they shall dwell therein, even they and their children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Israel don't even believe in everlasting salvation. They don't believe those that pass will come back to be resurrected with the gift of eternal life. They don't believe that. They don't believe these words. But want you to think that they're true worshipers. They're true believers. They got faith in what y'all say. Don't even got faith what he said when it comes to the Messiah. Now, how they gonna have faith when y'all talks about everlasting salvation? They don't believe that neither. I don't see nobody dying and coming back again. See, that sounds like Christianity. See, I don't see David dying and coming back again. See, that sounds too much like Christianity. Fool! What book is you reading? Get your head out your ass. What, the time is short. Y'all ain't messing around. The mighty Mosiah is taking lives. He's taking heads. So I gotta teach the way I teach. And challenge any ambassador of hell out there. Challenge any Israelite, any Muslim, any Christian in the world. And any Israelites of my own sect. Say no game. When you teach, you can't teach this like it's a game. This is life and death. Mighty Yah say, I said before you, Israel, life and death. Blessings and curses. Choose life. Or choose to be a fool. And we know the scriptures say a companion of fools going to be destroyed. So it's your choice. You got a comment, Maria?
Yeah, I had a comment and a question. The comment is, first of all, I never even really considered that Satan used the serpent. You know, but when you stated that, then I got to thinking, not think of that. But then also my comment is, I believe, and I just want to get your perspective on this. I believe that Satan always goes for what he might call the weaker vessel to get the job done. You got to go through somebody. And so what's your thought on that?
The
Like
weaker,
for sometimes might even be children. You see what I'm saying? Somebody that's not as strong or grounded. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's the way Satan works. You know, that's just like say like with Job, for example. He used his wife to
yeah,
say, why
curse,
don't you
curse telling him to die.
just die?
Yeah, tired of looking at you. Just
Because
curse.
you know when somebody's gonna be unbreakable, they're gonna be unbendable or unbreakable.
Yeah,
So my thought for the longest, as long as I remember, has been that Satan would tend to use the weaker vessels. You know, that's just like it's easier, like sometimes even to use a child or whatever that weaker vessel may deem to be. I just want to get your thought on that.
well, that's always been a saying that he uses a weaker vessel. Satan he's the tempter.
Mhm.
He know who to tempt at the right time. It ceases. It's time to cease for everything under the sun. It don't
Right,
necessarily mean they're a weaker vessel. It just at that time, like with Job wife, she's lost so much that she's seen. At that time, her spirit was low. Her spirit was low. Sons and daughters gone. Her husband all blistered up. Look like, what is this? And he's scratching and itching and, baby, I need you in here to help scratch. And she's scratching him. She said the big pus, it bust up and pus just running. And she got, you know, a lot, because some people they can't look at that stuff like that. What's that stuff running out there? Oh my goodness. Running, and he in the bed look like something out of the Shocker movie or something. It just is scratching and all this stuff. Then they lost their house and car get repossessed and gone and like this, like, oh my goodness, just too much. Then Satan just boom, got her. It's too much for her to handle. And we gotta learn how to live. And we gotta learn how to, if possible, gracefully go out. And accept those that go out gracefully. Help them to go out gracefully. Help them to go out stress-free. Don't add stress to their lives. Do what you can do for them while they're here to alleviate the stress and everything. But a lot of us can't deal with death. We can't. And we got to learn how to deal with the past, the loss. And like I said, I think about my father every day. Every single day. Every day. Think about my niece. Every day. Think about those that came before me. My mind goes way back to Tyree. Chaniel. All those great people who I was blessed to meet. That at the time of they were going through affliction, that I can say, I hope I didn't bring no stress upon them. While they was going through what they was going through. And that's what we got to do. We got to learn how to deal with past loved ones. And those that still wants us in the land of the living. Thank Yah. Praise Yah. Tell them you love them. And do what you can for them. Because tomorrow ain't promised. Those are, we think those are just words. Those ain't just words. Tomorrow is not promised. Maybe sure if you ask some of those people, relatives down in Kentucky, it would never what, the tornadoes coming through here? 50 people dead and they still counting bodies? Gone. Gone. You just told that just earlier today. Drive-by shootings on the highway in Cincinnati. This is the norm. Cars shooting up at another car on the highway. You can't drive safe on the highway. So I said, you're driving the vehicle. Don't be arguing with nobody. Don't be blowing your horn, get mad. Somebody don't let you over. So be it. Keep it moving. Because food's out today. I don't know if it is these shots they giving them, but people is losing their minds. And there's something behind it. I don't know if it's the wearing a mask all the time or what. Something is triggering this. Best believe that. Something is triggering all gun violence here. Young boy, what's that, Detroit, 15-year-old go and just shoot up school. Because it's even Albert brought him the assault rifles, assault weapons, or whatever they got them. But it's this crazy society we're living in today. Your children leave out your house. Before they leave, kiss them, tell them you love them. Because you might not see you tomorrow. You might not see Abba. He might not wake up. You gotta take advantage of every single day. Every single day. Go ahead, Maria.
You saying it just made me think of, I was just watching a program where the police in California has some of the most stringent gun laws in this country. The police are telling the people that they cannot protect them. They say it's like, police said it's like when they had that one day with the purge. But they say it's like that every day, 24/7 now. They show clips where people are getting robbed in broad daylight, sitting out to eat, and just all kinds of chaos going on. It's like it's moving fast to where the police are saying, look, we can't protect
You
you.
can't keep up with it. No, can't keep up with it.
I mean, it's rampant. People that then lost their minds for real, doing whatever, any kind of way, period.
And if you're working in these warehouses, oh my God, I'll be worried. I'll be kind of like, oh, y'all, please be with me. There's so many warehouse shootings that's taking place. In today's time, you don't know what, the fool get let go from the job, and next thing you know, he's mad. He disgruntled employee. You work for a company, he just going there, just shoot randomly. Just shooting randomly. So you got your conceal, you better start carrying that weapon with you.
One more thing is getting ready to be open.
Start carrying it with y'all. You know, you got, just don't let your you got concealed carry, just letting it sit, collect dust. Take that gun with you. And like I said, your wife, go out at night, try to go with her. Stop going out by yourself at night. You got predators, and now this is the Christmas season. People get robbed. The people want what you got, what they think you got. They'll kill you. Kill you. So we live in dangerous times. Yes, Sister Dawn.
Hallelujah. The other night I was at work, and I worked up in Monroe, and our store closed earlier than the other stores.
Mm-hmm.
And this man was pulling on the door. It's a sign that says that we are closed for the day. He sees this sign. He's angry that the door is closed and that our store is closed, but other stores are open. And so
You want that toy?
I'm counting the drawer. I ain't paying no attention. My back is to him. I'm not going to acknowledge you. The sign says everything you need to know, as far as I'm concerned. So my coworker, eventually she turned around and looked at him, and I started to tell her, don't even act like he ain't even knew. So 3 to 5 minutes pass. Then all of a sudden, he banging on the door.
Bang, bang,
And
bang.
he like, Mom, close till 9. He real loud and getting aggressive. And at that moment, I said, forget this, man. I'm about to put my concealed carry to use because I'm not getting ready to be dealing with this. And we ain't even got into the actual folly day yet. We still got a minute before it occurs.
Yeah.
These people act like they done lost their minds when they can't get their way. It's insane. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
Wow.
And I just say that to say, yes, it ain't just warehouses. It's everywhere.
Yeah,
Because these people, like, there are limits sometimes for how many people can come in the
Come in the
store.
store, yeah.
They mad that they gotta wear masks. They mad that that the store doesn't have what they
They
want.
won't,
That's
yeah.
not up to me.
Then they blame the people, blame
Right.
you.
You
You
wanna
just work
talk
there.
all crazy?
Yeah.
No, I don't have to deal with that. And
When
I
y'all
won't.
gonna get it in?
Right. What you mean 3 to 5 days? It's the mail. I'm not in charge of the mail.
Right.
I can only put the order in. And then if the computer don't work, oh my gosh, that's a big to do. Well, I gotta do it myself. Well, you might have to. I don't operate the internet. I'm just here to try to help you.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Like I said, I don't know if it's from these shots these people are taking, or it's just something in the air. Something is happening because I've never seen it like this. Never seen these highway shootings. I'm talking about Cincinnati. I mean, that's just, it's almost becoming a normal occurrence, almost like something out of the movies. Out of the movies.
People drive like they in the movies. They act like they in Fast and Furious. Like they don't put turn signals on to get over. They'll just cross over you real fast. 3, 4 lanes of traffic. Like it's nothing. They go past you at 100 miles per hour like you were in their way. It's insane.
Yes, Elder Nestor.
And now it's not even safe to go into your own bank. I banked in Huntington, and a man went in there during the day. A man, it's not even safe to go to your bank to do transactions. Just this past week on Galbraith Road, a man went into Huntington Bank and robbed the bank.
Yeah.
So it's not even safe to go in your bank to withdraw money or do any transactions. I kept telling my daughter, I'm like, is that my bank across the street? And she was like, nah, that was down the road.
They don't care. They don't care if it's a bank or if it's a pizza joint or if it's a little mom and pop store. These places get robbed. A lot of these places get robbed. So it's gonna be a lot of more bloodshed out here. And like I told you, I don't go nowhere anyway. So hey, I'm in my house basically 24/7. 24/7. You know, but y'all, you know, we gotta pray for one another and look out for one another. Most definitely. Because this thing is just getting off, what's already off the chain. But it's gonna get worse. It ain't get better, it's gonna get worse. So just keep each other in our prayers. Keep each other in our prayers. But I'm gonna stop conclude for today. And I thank everybody for tuning in and listening by way of YouTube and way of Facebook. Hope you got something out of it. I'd like to thank once again class, your support, and those by way of internet that sends your support. Greatly appreciated. Your prayers appreciated. And thank the mighty Yah for the people that we have. For the people that we have. Thank the mighty Yah for my man Michael, Dad Maria, holding the fork down. May the mighty Yah keep you strong. Continue the blessing with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. To continue this thing on if I'm not here or Michael is not here. And give him the spirit to maintain. We're gonna keep Brother Michael in our prayers, him and his family. That being said, anybody else got any last comment? Well, you want to do a presentation? Give you 15 minutes. You just let me know. You get it? Put anything together now. You get something. You know, got a little, little punch to it. Little punch to it. But just let me know. Any other questions or comments?
Question.
Yes.
What is or who is Isaiah 53 talking about?
You know, Isaiah 53, and I was going to teach on Isaiah 53. That's the first thing that I had on here before I dealt with the true identity of Lucifer, Satan, Israel, and everything else. See that right there? Isaiah 53. If y'all's will, if y'all's willing, if y'all is willing, we'll deal with Isaiah 53 next Shabbat. Next Shabbat. If y'all's willing. Because with this thing, it's, boy, I tell you, just don't know. But of course, next week we'll be here if y'all's willing, 12 noon Eastern to 5:30 p.m. sundown. 5:30 p.m. sundown. I'm just exiting a little bit earlier today. But we're gonna get the time just so all of us be able to, because split that time. We be on track. Y'all's will next week. But any last comments by anyone?
But you made it today.
Praise Yah. Praise Yah.
Good listening.
I'm glad I'm praising mighty Yah. He passed over us once again because this weather. You know, once again, Cincinnati always get passed over by Yah. It's not because of our righteousness, it's because of the Creator's mercy. I would like to believe that. Because of His mercy. Maybe you looking down and say that, hey, these some foolish children, but hey, they doing the best they can. You know? They doing the best they can. You know.
Only find faith. I'm happy.
Any questions, Sister Dawn?
Who me said that Lucifer is a group of people, the elites who think they running things on earth. That's what she thinks. And lastly, who me says can't wait for Isaiah 53 next Sabbath, y'all's will.
Yeah, a few people want me to deal with Isaiah 53rd chapter. No, Brother Michael Israel White, I always want me to deal with us to deal with Isaiah 53. So I got to deal with Isaiah 53rd chapter. Because when you coming out of Christianity and you read that, you would think, you could possibly think it's talking about the Christ of the New Testament, but it is not. It's not. But with that being said, let us all stand. And face the east. Shema,
Shema,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Elohelu,
Elohim,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Akkad,
Akkad,
Hear Israel, Yahweh Elohim, Yahweh is one. May Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. May Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. May Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Hallelujah.
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 Praise the mighty Yah. Yah is righteous, Yah is holy, and let Yah be magnified.